There we go. That's better. All right. Can you fold this towel up for me real quick while I get this stuff up? Gotta brush my teeth. Turn off the lights and light a candle. Doom, 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 doom. And that's the look. Get into it, yeah. If you got a car, get into it, yeah. If you go to church, get into it, yeah. Ain't that what Doja said? Get into it. Okay, oh, that's still charging. I gotta get my battery pack. I want some food. Who wanna go out to eat with Moo? Anybody wanna go out to eat with me? Is there a heart? Is there a heart in the house tonight? Hey. Is there a heart? Is there a heart in the house tonight? Hey. And the beat goes on, everlasting. All right, I got everything I need. Gotta get my phone, and let's go brush our teeth. Ooh, why you gotta act so? Y'all been dieting. I mean, I ain't been dieting. I've been fasting, right? And that fast been doing this thing, ain't it? Every now and again, you gotta fast. If you don't fast, the Lord can't answer you. Y'all stop. My sister sent me this video, right? And on the video, it was a black woman sitting down talking to a white man, right? And he was like, I don't trust fat pastors, right? And he wasn't being funny. He was being serious. Like, that's how he felt. And when he got done from his conclusion, his side of it, I felt him, right? He said, I don't trust no, like, overweight pastors. He said, when have you put up your plate to pray? You know, when have you put up your plate to hear God, right? And so she said, not the baby back ribs. Woo! Not the baby back ribs. Y'all gotta find that shit and post it. He said, when have you put away your plate to hear from God, right? Because that's a sin to be gluttonous, right? And so, you know, that was a message. I don't care if you big, fat, skinny, whatever. That's a message to all of us, especially for God's people. Talk about, oh, they out here stating that they got a word from God, but it's like, you ain't got no word from God. There's no way you got a word from God, because in order to have a word from God, you have to have discipline, right? And it's not just with food, it's with everything. Everything has to be done in moderation. And so when I'm looking at you and you obese, right? You ain't did no fasting. And so back in the days, I explained to my sister, I said, it's not, you know, we laughing about it only because, like, we not laughing at people. We laughing at, you know, the situation, right? How she had said, you know, not the baby back ribs, you know, that was funny. And so, you have to have discipline, right? And so if I'm fighting a demon, right? If I'm battling addiction, if I'm battling gluttony, I'm battling every sin there is to battle, right? And I decide to finally put down my own swords from that battle, and I go to my pastor, right? I'm trusting you, right? It has to have a form of trust, right, within your congregation. And so a lot of people don't understand that. I remember when my grandmother and them was going to church back in the days, right? And they would fast, right? They would fast for their congregation. So that's why the deacons and stuff was up front. The deacons went up there for show, even though they wore the big hats and, you know, all the fancy dresses and all that stuff. That wasn't what they were supposed to have been there for. They were supposed to have been there for if Sister Banks, if Moo if she fighting a demon, right? And I need to go up there. Y'all got to come together. Them people in the front of that church that y'all see dressing all up, right? Them and their husbands, they are being appointed to that job for a reason, and to help you fight them demons. And so they got to go on fasting for you. They got to do all these things that God called them to do for you. And so how is you obese as hell? You ain't fast for me. You ain't put away your plate. You got to be able to sacrifice that, right? And so I never forget, I came across this story. And in the story went something like, the lady said that her granny had a restaurant, right? And the lady across from her had a restaurant. And so they would go back and forth in competition, right? And so some days her granny would do good and some days the lady would do good. And so the granny got tired and went to a witch doctor on her, right? And so the lady was spiritually protected, right? Because you can't come up against everybody in the spirit. But the first time I think that she was all right. But the next time she went back, she came back barking like a dog. Her granny did. And was twisted all up looking crazy, right? And so they prayed over her. And the pastor had to go fast and he had to do all these things to be able to fight that, combat that demon, right? Because you have to go sacrifice that, whatever it is, you got to go do them instructions that God is calling you to do, right? And for people that's discern and people that's got people, you know what to do. And so I can't trust you and you 300, 400 pounds to go fast. Like, and so whatever, her pastor, y'all, her pastor, ended up fasting for her and doing all the necessary things, and he brought her back. But he told her, right, don't do it again. Don't go back to no witch doctors on that lady. She's spiritually protected. You cannot come up against her. And next time, I don't know if you gonna make it, right? Because she was twisted all up. She was barking. She was toe up. She was toe up going against that woman. Instead of being righteous in her movement and praying and asking God to bring her business, she went up in the spirit to attack another woman because she was doing good and it too. Like, what? It wasn't even that your business was failing. She was doing good too. And so you didn't want her to do good. So you went in the spirit to attack, right? And so God always bring me to the forefront, right? Because I got chills right now. God always bring me to the forefront when somebody doing something stupid. Period, point blank, right? I don't know where this story came from. Y'all, I'm going to go eat, right? I put away my plate all week and I'm going to go grab me a plate. You understand? But what I'm telling y'all is that people, y'all need to stop going up in the spirit attacking people. Y'all need to stop because this season, y'all butts, y'all tails is going to be come back twisted up, right? It's going to be some house fires. It's going to be some deaths. It's going to be a whole bunch of things because people out here is protected and people been calling for justice and judgment down from their oppressors. Ain't nobody playing like that. Ain't nobody playing like that when it comes to oppressing and causing people problems and doing that. Because, honey, I'm calling mine down. I'm calling down the ones with dressed in the all white, right? What do they call those? It's a certain name for them. Y'all know what I'm talking about when they walk in the line with all that white on, right? With their hands behind their back. It's like it was soldier line. I'm calling them to the front line, right? About me, because I deserve that. And everybody can go up in no spirit and attack me, right? And get away with it. But anyways, all I'm saying is, right? Be careful who y'all going into to pray over y'all, right? And discern. Ask God for discernment. But also be careful and ask and what you ask for too, because God ain't nothing for free. Right? If you ask for discernment, you're going to go through a whole bunch of trauma because people don't know that intuition and discernment is a state of a lot of trauma. Right? You get that a lot of times from a state of trauma. You don't just wake up with that. Right? You will meet the devil himself embodying your man. You understand? So y'all have a blessed day. Right? I'm going to go find me something to eat. Somebody put away their plate. Not me. I ain't doing it today. Right? But in the end of that story, that woman ended up dying because she went back up in the spirit to attack that woman. Right? Y'all have a blessed one. Stay safe.